We welcome you inside the Walker Convocation Center here on the campus of West Virginia State University and Institute as Video Productions proudly presents Mountain East Conference basketball featuring the Yellow Jackets of West Virginia State and the Golden Eagles of the University of Charleston. And this should be a dandy of a basketball game. State in with a record of 9-5, UC at 12-2. UC, after losing its first two of the season, has reeled off 12 in a row. Along with our great video productions crew and Andrew Miller, I'm Mark Martin, delighted to have you with us. And Andrew, we just wrapped up a women's game that was very entertaining, and now we're set for the second matchup of the season between UC and State before these two programs head off to the Mountain East Conference tournament next week in Wheeling.
And another very interesting matchup between these two teams. Game one between these two was an absolute battle, a 6-point win for UC, 93-87. But UC right now is the cream of the crop in the South. They are not going to be caught. They're going to be the number one seed in next week's tournament. So you wonder how much they may be playing for here today as far as pride when it comes to this game and the crosstown rivalry. For West Virginia State, they've got some work to do still. They're in third place right now, just a game above Concord, but Concord owns the tiebreaker over them, so West Virginia State's got a lot to play for here today, not only third place, but a possibility of maybe even bumping into the number 2 spot over Glenville State, who plays today. So a lot of things going on here. How motivated will UC be? I don't doubt that, we're talking about young men who don't really think about next week. They're thinking about the team they're getting ready to play. Imagine they'll be fully focused and involved in this game. You know that West Virginia State's going to come in here ready.
Well, too, you're also battling the rival, and you always want to win those games, and certainly it's a great springboard into the conference tournament. A couple of players to watch in this game, and we begin with the University of Charleston and Isaiah Gable, who is a 6'7 senior out of Greenville, Ohio, coming in averaging 11.7 points per game. And as far as Dwayne Osborne is concerned, this young man, if not the best, one of the best shooters in the Mountain East Conference, hitting right at 50% from the field, comes in with 39 three-pointers.
Had a big game against West Virginia State the first time, led the scoring for UC with 19 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double for Gable in that first game.
All right, and for West Virginia State, well, they've got some outstanding players, but you cannot ignore number 00, Glenn Abram, and he has just been terrific as of late. Comes in 23.7 last Saturday, rifled in 47. I know you saw him here on Monday night against Wheeling.
If Abram gets going early and quickly, watch out. Even if he doesn't get going from the outside, he can make things happen and he can get himself some scoring opportunities throughout the game. He had 29 points in the first game loss against West Virginia State. He's got 13-17 for his career.
Now, there's just so much history with these programs and so much history in this rivalry between State and UC, and we look forward to bringing it to you here momentarily. When we return, it will be time to bring you the starting lineups, and we'll tip it off as West Virginia State and the University of Charleston get set to square off for the second time in this 2021 season in the Mountain East Conference. Stay with us. The tip-off is next here on Video Productions.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
the Honda Passport is full of possibilities. And with plenty of cargo space and underfloor storage, you can fill it with gear too. Pack your weekend with adventure in the Honda Passport. The Honda CR-V EX is loaded with premium features that you don't have to pay a premium for. Like a turbocharged engine for great performance and fuel efficiency. With advanced features like a blind spot information system. Plus, Apple CarPlay integration for your iPhone. And the best part is, in the CR-V, premium is standard. Contact your Honda dealer to learn more or shop online.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs.
We're back inside the Walker Convocation Center, getting you set for UC and West Virginia State in this Mountain East Conference showdown. Neil Higgins, lone senior on this team for Brian Poor, honored here on Senior Day. And he will get a starting nod here today for the Yellow Jackets. Let's look at the starters for UC here this afternoon. And they're going to go with Sean Monroe, Heath Williams, Eddie Colbert III, Isaiah Gable, and Lamont McManus. They are without an outstanding point guard in Seth O'Neill. For UC, the starters for state, I should say, the starters will be Glenn Abram, Jeremiah Moore, Gus Stone, Anthony Pittman, and again, Neil Higgins going to get a start here on Senior Day. What a thrill for Higgins.
Absolutely, and it's a really neat thing for Coach Brian Poor, knowing the importance of this game, giving Higgins his just due. It's been a part of the program and an opportunity to thank him for his contributions and his stability in the program throughout.
Well, you have two championship coaches here. Brian Poor, 22nd season at the helm of state all-time winningest coach, and had so many great teams back in the day, the old West Virginia Conference, and anytime Brian Poor's on the sideline, state is going to be dangerous, and he's built an outstanding program here. And Dwayne Osborne, his first season at UC, he won a Mountain East Conference championship. Excellent coach, and so these two guys are great friends, and we look forward to them matching wits here this afternoon.
You know, Coach Osborne has been to 3 championship games in 7 years, winning the first one, obviously. No other MEC coach has more right now. So Coach Osborne, very familiar with the postseason, very familiar with the ability to get there. Comes out of Clearwater Christian College. Very interesting pathway to get to the University of Charleston. Nice little assistant coaching staff he's got, though. Brett Rector, Anthony Fairhurst, and Micah Stout.
Yeah, no question about that. And, of course, for State, Lester Raines, which the court bears his name here at the Walker Convocation Center. Rob Ely, Marcus Reed. And once more, credit to both of these programs, their coaches, their leadership, and those involved with their respective universities for getting to this point in the season, playing here on the final Saturday of the regular season, final Saturday in the month of February, and off to the tournament. You couldn't ask for much more.
Very excited to see this matchup, and just been blessed throughout this year to be able to broadcast and watch MEC college basketball. It is, if you don't know what it's about, it's a very exciting league.
You've got a lot of guys in this league that could very well be playing at a higher level. There's no doubt about that. Well, Alan McVeigh just said, let's play some basketball. So you know we're set to go here at the Walker Convocation Center when Alan makes that announcement. So here we go. State will be in the white and UC in the maroon. Mike Lazo, outstanding official, one of the all-time great quarterbacks at Concord. He will put the ball in the air. He's joined today by Ricky Post and Patrick Harwood. We'll see if Mr. Post makes some calls today down in the post. All right, State has it. Here's Higgins. Let it fly and hits the back of the iron.
Opportunity for Higgins right off the bat. And I'll tell you, that wasn't he's a senior, let's give him a shot. He had an open look for 3 right there.
And State had just one senior honored in the women's game, and Sadare Johnson had an outstanding showing today with 10 points. All right, UC on the offensive end for the first time here, and here's what they like to do, Andrew. Get it into the big guy, Lamont McManus.
Yeah, McManus is a brute force character. He's a big guy at 6'6". He's got a big body on him, averaging 13.8 points per game. But the guy can step back and shoot, by the way.
Jeremiah Moore commits the foul, his first. UC coming in averaging 85.4 a game, allowing 72.2. State 89.4 and giving up 85.9. McManus missing the first opportunity on the season, 60% from the stripe. Well, Higgins got the start, but he is now out, and McManus will score the first point of the game. And then State brings in Jeremiah Staten, the 5'9 sophomore out of West Orange, New Jersey. Bothered by an injury much of this season, but has finally gotten himself healthy and has been a good contributor. Shot up by Jeremiah Moore, no good. And UC has the basketball.
You know, and he got healthy at the right time when a couple of other players went down.
Sean Monroe will knock it through. Monroe started his career at Urbana. Of course, that school shut down, and, well, that was a great pickup for Dwayne Osborne.
Absolutely. Talking about injuries for West Virginia State, though, Jeremiah Moore, who's battled some turf toe issues, he's been out a couple of games. Back in right now.
Anthony Pittman on the move, and his shot will not drop. And UC with the early 3-0 lead and looking to add to it. Monroe dishing it down low, and the ball is loose, and Pittman picks it up. This is Moore with it. May take it all the way. He does. And in the lane, Moore going to be hit with the charging foul, and quickly he has picked up his second foul at the 18:07 mark.
Yeah, Colbert III in good position right there. I think Moore thought that Colbert might step back into that restricted area, but he did not. We were talking about injuries. When Staten came in, he came in at a time when he was getting healthy. Jod Shockley was out, Mark, and as soon as Shockley got a little bit healthy, Moore went down. So it's been a little bit rough here down the stretch for Coach Brian Poor's club.
Shockley, who wears number 40, has checked in for the white-clad Yellow Jackets of West Virginia State, and Eddie Colbert III will knock it down.
Shoots above shoots 41 from three. That's his 32nd of the year.
He is out of Toledo, Ohio, has a huge upside, according to Dwayne Osborne. Here is Stone, the lefty, and he drills it.
Well, Stone has struggled shooting from outside lately, and that'll help him get his confidence.
From the outside, rifling the shot, Colbert. Back-to-back threes. In fact, 3 shots in a row from behind the arc. 2 by UC, 1 by State. Well, a lot of good hustle there on both sides of the ball, and McManus last touching it. It will be State's basketball. They trail by 6.
Stone with a nice spot-up three, as you see on the screen. But 2 to answer that for Eddie Colbert, the sophomore.
And it goes to Shockley. Abram. Dumping it down to Shockley, and the ball out of bounds, last touching Shockley.
It's good hustle by the big man, Shockley. A little miscommunication on the drive from Abram. He got up in the air, Mark, and didn't have anywhere to go with it. He was trying to yell, I think, at Shockley to watch for it coming over the shoulder.
Keith Williams to Gable. Well, block shot there by Pittman. Boy, Pittman can do a lot of things, but right into the hands of McManus, who makes a nice move and scores it for UC. Golden Eagles by 8 here early on in Institute. Pittman on the move, and Pittman's going to be hit with a charge. I don't think Brian Poor liked the first charge call on his team, but he stood over there and shook his hand on that, or shook his head on that one. Said, "Yep."
Yeah, Gable got his feet set. I think Pittman had it in his head that he was going to attack no matter what, and I think he drew the shoulder down in a little bit, and when he dipped that shoulder, that was the confirmation the official needed for the charge.
3 team fouls on State. UC looking to add to this 8-point edge they have on the Yellow Jackets. McManus and Pittman. And McManus, well, he is strong, 6'6", brute force.
You know, Pittman, you saw posting was like leaning forward as best he could to try to counteract that weight difference.
Here's Abram. Staten will drive. Staten out to Pittman. Long range straightaway. Got it. What a beauty by Pittman.
Is there anything this guy cannot do?
Bob Bolin has told us that if once Pittman really gets the three-point range down, he'll have all the tools to be one of the best. Not that he isn't already.
Averages 18 points, 12 rebounds, leads the team in block shots. He now has 25 on the year after that most recent one.
He's a great athlete at Capital High School, good football player, driving, leaning in, not able to go for Monroe. Staten gets it to Abram. Abram, he has unlimited range, as we saw last Saturday and in other games this season, but he can't get that one to quite go through.
And I mentioned in the game I broadcast right after that 47-point performance, he was 0 for 8 the game before that.
Gable connects. Dwayne Osborne just talks about Gable being such a pure shooter, as is Stone, who couldn't get that to go, but Shockley got the rebound. Keeps it alive for the Yellow Jackets. Pittman wants another 3 attempt. 10-point lead for UC. Got a timeout on the floor. We'll break away here. UC successful at the moment, leading by 10 over State on Video Productions.
Have dreams.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
For more than 125 years, West Virginia State University has been educating generations of students who have gone on to change the world.
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
14:20 to go here in the first half. UC on a 10-3 run over the last 5 minutes, and they lead the Yellow Jackets of West Virginia State 16-6.
UC shooting the ball well, Mark. 6 of their first 8 shots have fallen, and they've got 3 of those 6 from behind the three-point line, 3 of 4 shooting from 3. So UC shooting the ball very well in the first 5 minutes plus here in the first half.
UC knocking off State 93-87 earlier in the season. Abram had 29 for State, Pittman 22, Moore 20. And Gable was the leader with 19 for UC. O'Neal, not playing today, had 18. Williams had 18. Monroe had 12. Eberhardt had 12. So, boy, they had 5 guys in double figures. And speaking of Tyler Eberhardt, number 24, he has checked into the game. Also, Shante Wilson, number 1, is in there for UC, and driving and scoring is Keith Williams to give UC a 12-point cushion.
You talk about the loss of Seth O'Neal today. That's big with a point guard out, but this is such a balanced team, scoring and defensively. There are plenty of capable off the bench for UC to come in and replace O'Neal as a group.
Staten thinking, and firing away. Well, 9 points for State, all from behind the arc.
This is the second three of the season for Staten. Comes at a big time, though, Mark.
Yeah,
they needed a bucket.
Trims the deficit down to 9. Sean Monroe gets it back out to Keith Williams. Williams, the 6'2 junior, Sandusky, Ohio. Dwayne Osborne said this guy just keeps getting better at everything he does. Here's Eberhardt. His shot off the mark and stripped there as Wilson tried to get the rebound. And here comes Abram. Well, Staten got a three a moment ago. Thought about it. Now to Stone. Stone maneuvers, and Stone, smooth with that left hand, lays it in. Boy, he's just silky smooth.
That's absolutely his game, is to dribble drive and contort body to make things happen. He has put up some wild shots, at least wild to the naked eye. He seems to make a lot of them for wild shots.
Well, Eberhardt getting into the scoring column with that bucket. McManus out at the moment, but he is at the scorer's table. Here's Stone. He's cut off Staten. He'll pull up right of the key, and Staten knocking down another shot from the field. This one for two. Make it 20-13. He's got a nice looking shot.
Doesn't shoot a lot this season. I mean, doesn't average a lot of points. Just two per game, but he's already got 5. That'll be big to develop a little confidence in Staten today. You're going to need all the guns blazing to knock off this number 1 team.
Well, Gable let it fly, missed the shot, but there was a foul called on Stone. So Stone has his first, and team foul number 4 on the Yellow Jackets. So on the floor at the moment for UC, you have Williams, Colbert. McManus is now back in.
She has nice idea on the inbounds play by Williams. He had Pittman turn completely around, so just bumped it off the backside of Pittman.
Yeah, 2 on Pittman now. Not something Brian Poore wants to see at the 11:52 mark of the first half of action. At the line is Williams. Free throw good. Coming into this game, 5 of 6. So set the 5 for you now here. Abram, Stone, Shockley, Staten, and Stefan Sherrod has checked in for the Yellow Jackets. He wears number 23. And also checking in now is Trayon Watkins. Stone will go out. Watkins has unlimited range. And the UC 5, Shante Wilson, Keith Williams, Eddie Colbert, Jordan Nicely, and Lamont McManus.
Watkins coming off a couple big offensive performances. 18 points against Wheeling.
And check that, there is no Jordan Nicely. It says that here, but I believe they mean Eberhardt.
Yeah.
We had a technical foul in the first game due to a wrong number. We've got our charts right here now. I'm going to give you and I a lot of credit.
Absolutely.
But I was looking down when they popped it up here on the screen. I said, who's Jordan Nicely? I don't think they have a Jordan Nicely, do they?
Not that I know of.
Well, he's not out there now. State with the ball, and maybe Staten trying to do a little too much there, but State retrieves it. Down 22-13. Trayon Watkins. Abram has yet to score. Maybe now will be the time as he drives in and is fouled.
One thing you'll see Abram do in a game where he's not shooting particularly well from the outside early, he'll try to make some things happen on the dribble drive, which he can do. He gets to the rim and gets to the free throw line a lot, and he shoots the ball quite well from the free throw line.
78% free throw shooter, up and in. Williams has checked out for UC.
Looks like Staten might have a little blood on the hand. So physical game beginning. I wonder if they're going to let Staten stay in or if they're going to make him go out of the ball game. Looks like they're going to actually force Staten to get that cut looked at.
And that's going to bring in Montrell Horsey, number 10, 6-foot junior out of Edgewood, Maryland. This is the 10th game in which he's appeared in. Abram hits both free throws, 22-15 our score. UC in the lead. Sean Monroe, Eberhardt takes off. Nice dish and a slam by Shante Wilson.
Well, that was highlight worthy. Eberhardt drove in, drew the defender, and soaring was Wilson.
Well, Abram with a big-time move to the bucket, but comes up short, 24-15, and a collision. And that is McManus getting hit with the foul.
Take a look at the primetime highlight reel. Just climbing up the ladder and being very offensive to that iron rim was Shante Wilson. Coach Poore talked about Montrell Horsey being really, Mark, the only true point guard that he has on this roster.
Trayon Watkins steps out of bounds.
Bit of a shaky start for West Virginia State offensively. Oh, gosh, and we're going to add some insult to injury, Mark. I think West Virginia State's going to get burned for a technical foul.
Yep. Yeah, Brian Poore, he's been upset from the early stages. And Charles Marshall get hit with a technical foul in the first game. Up and in is Colbert. Colbert on the season, a 73% free throw shooter.
Such an interesting view from our vantage point. I'm watching on the screen the technical fouls take place, and right beside him, Coach Brian Poore screaming across the way at the official.
And UC's ball on top of the made free throws. Monroe on the move, dumps it to McManus. Back out to Monroe, and this shot won't drop. Rebound Horsey. Ahead to Abram. Horsey thought about it, now goes to Abram. Sherrod bounces it off of his foot. UC's Monroe off the glass and in. Monroe now with 4. Now Brian Poore is going to get Pittman back in the game with 2 fouls. Looks like Jeremiah Moore is going to come back with 2 fouls. Here's Horsey. Baseline shot off the mark. Eberhardt snags the rebound, but a good job by Horsey. And finds Shockley, and Shockley goes up and puts it in.
Good hustle by Montrell Horsey off that missed shot to get the possession back, to find the big man. I like the poise of Shockley. You got McManus looming around you. You got to make sure you do it right.
Monroe in midair, got it away there to McManus, and then we got a collision between Abram and Eddie Colbert.
Abram going to be burned for the foul, his first.
We've got a break in the action here in Institute. West Virginia State trails UC 28-17. You're watching Live streaming coverage of Mountain East Conference basketball on Video Productions.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
The Honda Passport is full of possibilities. And with plenty of cargo space and underfloor storage, you can fill it with gear too. Pack your weekend with adventure in the Honda Passport.
Finger pointed our way from producer-director Robbie Mounts as we bring you coverage of the Mountain East Conference featuring the Yellow Jackets of West Virginia State hosting rival Charleston today, 28-17. I think we said it earlier on, sluggish would be a good way to describe it.
Yeah, a sluggish start for West Virginia State, not shooting particularly well, just 37% from the field, just 3 of 9 from 3. But on top of that, UC shooting the ball well very quickly right out of the gate with a couple of threes early on by Eddie Colbert. They're shooting at 66% from the field in the first half.
Shot up and in by Colbert. Brian Poore over there still pleading his case with Mike Lazo. When I first met Brian Poore, he was the interim head coach at the University of Charleston. He had been on Greg White's staff at UC. Greg headed to UCLA to work with Jim Herrick for one season, and Greg got pulled away from UCLA to be Marshall's head coach and later came back to UC, but Brian Poore got hired here 22 seasons ago by our good friend Bryce Casto, who was then the athletic director here, been here ever since and has done a great job. Glenn Abram has it stripped from behind, but there will be a foul called. And if you are Brian Poore, you're looking down there, it's 8-17. Obviously, you want a whole lot more from Glenn Abram than 2 free throws.
Yeah, you know, Abrams has tried. He's tried to make things happen with the dribble drive. Has not gotten a lot of good looks from 3. Has shot 1, but just hasn't been a very good look.
Abram guarded there by Gable. Abram twisting and turning and getting it to go. Well, he got it to go, but boy, did he have to work for it. 30-19.
Nothing comes easy in this league, and especially if you're a leading scorer, everybody's got a bullseye on you.
Sean Monroe up with the left hand. Nice move by Monroe, who has 6 in the game. 32-19. Trayon Watkins to Pittman. Pittman. Well, walk control by Pittman, slashing to the hoop.
Just showing the athleticism that we've seen out of him throughout the season.
Man, just always has that big smile on his face. Just a wonderful young man. Driving in, no good. And, boy, a couple of tries there by Shante Wilson. Couldn't get it to drop. Here comes State. They can get it down to single digits. Trayon Watkins, his shot off the mark. And Watkins, he's got a beautiful stroke. But that one would drop.
Sorry about that. We thought we might see another highlight reel dunk on that side. You see Pittman just awkwardly up with the left leg. Pittman altered that dunk attempt at the last second, and Wilson had to try to make it a layup.
Driving, Abram, shot no good. Monroe to Gable. Zips it over to Keith Williams. He's open. And his shot won't land through the net. Watkins has it poked from behind.
Good hustle all around on both sides at the moment.
Monroe bouncer to McManus, and McManus breaks free. McManus with 7 here in this opening half.
That was a little too easy, I think, for McManus off of the give and go.
Anthony Pittman going to back in against Gable. Up with the shot, and Gable will commit the foul. Good job by Pittman to draw that foul.
First on Gable, 4th on the team.
Eberhardt and Colbert are set to check back in for UC. And if Dwayne Osborne gets in any trouble at all, he's got Brett Rector and Riley Hetherington over there. Of course, Hetherington has eligibility. Brett does not, but 2 of the most prolific scorers in Ravenswood High history under our dear friend Mick Price. Here is that foul on Gable that has Pittman at the line. Riley Hetherington is the all-time leading scorer in Ravenswood High history. Brett Rector had a great career at first West Virginia Tech and then finished up at Davis and Elkins. And he was at Parkersburg South last year, got them to the state tournament, and then just really wants to be involved with the coaching game. He was a part of a state championship at Pikeville. Pikeville got into the NAIA National Tournament that year as an at-large seed and ended up winning the whole thing. All right, Eberhardt finds Wilson. Boy, Eberhardt's a great passer.
And Wilson's been the recipient of a couple of those nice ones first half.
Watkins, thing blocked by Gable. Well, when you talk about maybe the matchup at the moment, I think one word might jump out at you, Andrew, and that's length for UC.
Yeah, not just one player. That's the issue. You know, West Virginia State's got Jeremiah Moore with all that length, but Charleston can counteract that with 3 guys that can really stretch it.
Anthony Pittman holds it, goes to Gus Stone, and Stone shot off the mark. It's a 13-point advantage for UC with 5.5 to go here in this first half. State needs some stops and some buckets, but, well, what's going to happen with shots like that? Colbert's 3rd 3 of the game. In fact, he has all 3 from behind the arc for UC.
He's 3 of 4 from there.
Anthony Pittman. Back to Moore. Moore guarded by Eberhardt. And a nice tough shot made by Moore. That's his first bucket of the game.
Very strong inside move. Went high side and just soft touch over top the outstretched hands of Eberhardt.
6 players have now scored for West Virginia State, 7 for UC. UC leads it 39-25. Shante Wilson got in between 2 defenders and just goes right up and lays it in. 41-25, 16-point lead.
Boy, and Pittman sold out on that steal attempt, left him wide open in the lane.
Pittman's shot no good. Pittman goes down. He's up, but it's right now a 5-on-4 here for UC. Pittman now makes his way down the floor as we get close to the 4-minute mark here. And UC has controlled this one. Sean Monroe to Gable. Gable lets it fly, rolls around, won't drop. Jeremiah Moore takes off to the hoop, and Eberhardt is going to be charged with the foul. That's his first of the contest, and that is foul number 5 on UC, and we have got ourselves a break in the action. UC on top of State, 41-25 here in Institute.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
My husband should have died that night. The car was on a fence, upside down. Trees were coming through the windshield.
The people who opened the door for me, one of the first questions they asked me is, how were you alive?
For my kids, Timmy's invincible. And it was just like that he could have been gone. He was like, this is all we're going to own. We're getting another Honda. It saved my life. My kids are not going in anything else.
3:47 to go here in the first half. UC 41, State 25. What's Brian Poore discussing with his Yellow Jackets, and what's Dwayne Osborne discussing?
You know, for Coach Poore, I think there's a lot of stagnant play offensively. There's not a lot of flow to the offense in the first half. There's not a lot of moving parts. Really, there's just a lot of one-on-one situations. And I think you need to get a little just more active offensively, moving around, passing the ball around, finding some open lanes. And for UC and Coach Osborne, I just say more of the same. Continue to shut down Glenn Abram defensively. Continue to work the ball offensively. UC shooting the ball well, and the reason they are is they've got a lot of wide open looks, either at the basket or outside, and they're hitting their shots when they need to.
And Glenn Abram just with 4 points. Anthony Pittman with 6 for State. Jeremiah Moore gives way to Abram. They have really been locked down on Abram. Here's Pittman. Thought about a three. Now wants to penetrate. Gets it back to Moore. Jeremiah Moore on the move. Nice little maneuvering there by Jeremiah Moore. He has 4 in the game to make it 41-27.
They took that on the off leg. You know how they teach you left leg, right arm on the layups. Went right leg, right arm with the layup.
From the outside, gunning, and the shot will not drop for Eddie Colbert. Here comes Pittman. Gus Stone aiming for a three, and he's got it. Stone's second three of the game, 4 for West Virginia State, and that cuts the deficit to 11 at 41-30.
Stone had 12 the first time these two teams met. Good to see him get going from the outside as well as the drives.
Sean Monroe. Eberhardt, and stepping in front of that pass is Trayon Watkins. Watkins across the 10-second line, speeding to the basket, and the ball knocked away, or did he just absolutely lose the handle?
Nah, that was a good steal attempt. It was slapped away on the drive, but it just went right down the leg of Trayon Watkins.
So that stroke there by Stone a moment ago. So State with 4 3-pointers. Likewise for UC, 3 of those by Eddie Colbert.
State slowly climbing up here with field goal percentage. They're up above 40% at 42. Nearly 40 from 3.
Shot from way outside, spins out of there. Eberhardt and Pittman collide or make that gable, and that's going to be 3 on Pittman.
Pittman pleading his case as to saying that was a complete loose ball. There was contact between the two as they both go after it, and I don't know, not a lot there, Mark. Maybe a little bit of Oscar-worthy performance by Isaiah Gable, but seems like Gable may have been going straight up and down, and Pittman was jumping into Gable a little bit. That's where the foul may have come.
Well, if you're saying acting, wasn't there an actor, Clark Gable?
Yes.
Pretty good.
Yes.
Well, this is Isaiah Gable. Again, just a great shooter and just a D1 transfer from Southeast Missouri State. His 4 points in the game.
Well, Abram able to make something happen. A step-back 3 opportunity. Gable tried to get over there to it, could not get there in time. And so that's going to send Abram to the line for 3. You see Abram do that a lot. He can cover some ground with that step back. he can really get some space between he and the defender when he's shooting those threes.
State now 3 of 5 at the line. Eberhardt in. Gable heads out. Abram with another free throw coming with 1:52 to go here in the first half. It's been all UC.
Abram gets 2 of 3. I harken back to the Concord game here, which Abram was struggling, ended up with 23 points, 16 of 16 from the foul line in that game.
Down to McManus, up with a shot as he works around Shockley. McManus, 9 here in the first half, and there's a 3 by Abram. That's what they need. That gets it down to single digits at 44-35.
When McManus is such a load underneath, though, it's going to take some help defense, I think, in this game.
Yeah, he is old school in that low post. Ball loose, and Abram, a nice save by Abram, and good hustle there by Augustus Stone. Now Stone to Jeremiah Moore. Moore drives and scores.
He's done that a few times here in this first half. That was a tremendous move. Soft runner.
Down to a 7-point UC advantage. Under a minute now to go here in this first half. Eberhardt, nice pass to McManus. McManus up with the shot and makes it and is fouled in the process by Shockley.
Boy, it's almost as if you're dead to rights once McManus gets that ball in the paint on the block. And again, that was a good pass interior. Kept it away from Shockley on the left side, and McManus already had that half-step turn. Get the sense if this guy wasn't a basketball player, he'd be an offensive lineman.
Oh, my goodness. Maybe put him at tight end even.
Yeah.
46-37, and Abram wanted to take off with it, and he's fouled.
We'll draw the contact from Williams. It seems as though after that timeout when we came back, we said that West Virginia State looked a little stagnant offensively. We're not saying they look, pristine at the moment, but at least they're moving a little better and getting some open shot attempts and getting some drives.
And Abram can't get it to go, but Shockley is there for the stick back, and a big stick back it is. 46-39 now.
Last shot opportunity for the University of Charleston.
Sean Monroe with it near midcourt on the Yellow Jacket logo. Monroe over to Colbert. Colbert to Eberhardt. Eberhardt spinning around, but could not get it to drop. But what a move. And heaving is Abram, and that will do it. 46-39 our score at the break. UC on top of West Virginia State in this Mountain East Conference showdown. You're watching live streaming coverage of the Mountain East Conference featuring the Yellow Jackets of West Virginia State on Video Productions.
Unofficial individual scoring in the first half. First for the University of Charleston Eagles. Spencer Wilson with 6, Sean Monroe with 6, Keith Williams with 4, Isaiah Gable with 4, Tyler Eberhardt with 2, Lamont McManus with 11, and Eddie Colbert with 13. For the Yellow Jackets, Scott Stone with 8, Jeremiah Staten with 5, Jeremiah Moore with 6, Anthony Pittman with 7,
I'm Stuart Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
An injury at any age can be a game changer. But with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let us take care of you.
You have dreams.
Where do you start to build the skills necessary to make them happen?
At West Virginia State, you learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
My husband should have died that night. The car was on a fence, upside down. Trees were coming through the windshield.
The people who opened the door for me, one of the first questions they asked me is, how are you alive?
For my kids, Timmy's invincible. And it was just like that he could have been gone. He was like, this is all we're gonna own. We're getting another Honda. It saved my life. My kids are not going in anything else.
46-39 here at halftime. University of Charleston and West Virginia State meeting up for the second time this season. And UC has been in the lead from the very beginning, Andrew Miller.
Yeah, UC shooting the ball well throughout the first half of play, playing very good defense on Glenn Abram throughout the first half. Abram really struggled to find open looks, had to try to create his own looks at it. Got to the free throw line a couple of times, but missed a couple of foul shots. Pittman with the 3 fouls early in the game really has hampered his production as well a little bit. But again, West Virginia State in that first half looked just very out of sync offensively. Never really got into the flow of the game offensively, and it really caused them they didn't shoot the ball well in the first half of the first half, but even in that second half when they were making a little bit of comeback, it was very difficult for them to make that comeback. It was a very workmanlike performance to get back in the game. They did have a 14-5 run to catch up in this game with UC, but UC just doing very, very well. The shooting early on of Eddie Colbert, he hit a few threes early on and just never looked back. He was the leading scorer in that first half, and I'm wondering what is going to be for West Virginia State the answer to the big man in McManus, because when Lamont McManus gets it inside, it's going to take more than one defender on him.
And State's already got some foul issues, and we will get more into that. Pittman's got 3, and, you know, he's just a guy you got to have out there if you're going to win this game here tonight. A couple of double-figure scores, Eddie Colbert and Lamont McManus for UC, 13 and 11 respectively. No one in double figures for State at the moment. We'll come back and talk more about this first half when we return here in Institute. You're watching live streaming coverage of Mountain East Conference basketball featuring the West Virginia State University Yellow Jackets here on Video Productions.
The Honda Pilot is great for family adventures. As well as the not-so-friendly ones. We made it tougher than it needed to be. Because you never know what you'll come up against. The Honda Pilot with available all-wheel drive. The ultimate modern family SUV.
With all that's going on, Mullen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling wants to remind our neighbors we're here for you. We're taking extra precautions to protect you and our employees. Right now, we're offering 6-month no-interest financing to help you stay comfortable throughout this crisis. Our superior indoor air filtration options will keep viruses, bacteria, and allergens down, increasing indoor air quality, comfort, and safety. Call us today and see how we can help you. Mullen, we're comfortable when you are.
Did you know when you send or receive a text message, you take your eyes off the road for 5 seconds at 55 miles per hour? That's like driving more than the length of a football field blindfolded. As a result, thousands of people die every year in crashes related to distracted driving. That's why we're cracking down on people who text or use their smartphones while driving. We would rather you cross the goal line alive. Law enforcement officers write tickets to save lives. Don't text and drive.
FCA has incredible impact on coaches, the teams, the players, and the community as well.
It's changed our lives. It's changed mine as a husband, as a father, and as a coach.
It does make an impact on our lives.
FCA has become a full circle in our lives.
People from all different kinds of backgrounds.
If all we're going to be is a coach that happens to be a Christian, I think it's more important to be a Christian that happens to be a coach.
46-39 our score here at the break. UC leading state. Let's check out the team stats from this first half of action. Again, UC has led from the very beginning here, Andrew, and they have controlled West Virginia State. State's made a couple of attempts to get back into here, miss some opportunities. Maybe it could be a bit closer, but still within striking distance. But let's talk about first half stats.
Yeah, you know, UC very consistent throughout the first half, shooting the ball. Finished up at 17 of 29. That's 58% shooting from the field. Now, West Virginia State struggled early. We're down around 33% shooting. They got that up to 48% shooting on 14 of 29. And, again, that was about the last 5 minutes of the first half of play. Three-point shots early for UC, 4 of 12. 3 of those coming at the hand of Eddie Colbert, and 6 of 14 for West Virginia State. So both shooting the ball pretty well from the outside. Free throw shooting, 8 of 11 for UC, just 5 of 8 for West Virginia State. Rebound margin very similar, 16 to 15, and turnovers also very similar, 6-6. When you look at the score, you see a very close game, but it really didn't seem that way in the first half, Mark, just because of the way West Virginia State struggled offensively.
No question about that. Well, both teams in the locker room at halftime. Next week is the Mountain East Conference Tournament at the WesBanco Arena in Wheeling. Both teams will be advancing on, and who knows, we may be seeing just a prelude to a tournament showdown there in Wheeling. That has definitely happened before in postseason play. Can't wait for that great event. And, you know, Reed Amos and his crew will be doing a wonderful job, as always, hosting that event in Wheeling. 46-39 here at the break between UC and State, and we will return, talk individual numbers in just a moment. You're watching live streaming coverage of Mountain East Conference basketball featuring the Yellow Jackets of West Virginia State on Video Productions.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
Honda Passport is full of possibilities. And with plenty of cargo space and underfloor storage, you can fill it with gear too. Pack your weekend with adventure in the Honda Passport. The Honda CR-V EX is loaded with premium features that you don't have to pay a premium for. Like a turbocharged engine for great performance and fuel efficiency. With advanced features like a blind spot information system. Plus, Apple CarPlay integration for your iPhone. And the best part is, in the CR-V, premium is standard. Contact your Honda dealer to learn more or shop online.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them hugs.
Beckley. Welcome back here to the Walker Convocation Center in Institute. The Doris W. and Walter F. Johnson III Arena on the Lester Raines Court. We are getting set for second half action here between UC and State. UC leads at 46-39 at the break. Along with our great video productions crew, Andrew Miller and Mark Martin, delighted to have you here on this final day of the regular season for the MEC, the final Saturday in the month of February. Andrew, Monday is going to be March 1st. March Madness, it officially gets underway.
March Madness had a much different tone last year, 365 days ago. March was certainly madness, but not for basketball.
Yeah.
And I'm looking so forward to March Madness, and it'll be more like April Madness this year.
Yeah, and the state tournament for boys basketball in West Virginia is the season just getting started. We've joked May Madness for the state basketball tournament. Let's look at individual numbers, and Eddie Colbert led the way for UC with 13 points. Lamont McManus had 11. Shante Wilson finished with 6. Sean Monroe had 6. 4 for Keith Williams, 4 for Isaiah Gable, and Tyler Eberhardt had 2 for the Yellow Jackets. No one in double figures for West Virginia State. Glenn Abram, the team's leading scorer, averaging 23.7. Again, he had 47 here last Saturday, and right now they've held him to 9. And Abram with a three-pointer, 1 field goal, and the rest of his points have come at the free throw line. Augustus Stone has 8. Anthony Pittman has 7. He has 3 personal fouls. 6 points for Jeremiah Moore, 5 for Jeremiah Staten, and 4 for Jihad Shockley. UC and State, round 2, and we got the second half coming your way in just a moment. You're watching live streaming coverage of Mountain East Conference basketball featuring the Yellow Jackets of West Virginia State here on Video Productions.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
You have dreams.
Where do you start to build the skills necessary to make them happen?
At West Virginia State, you learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
The Honda Passport is full of possibilities. And with plenty of cargo space and underfloor storage, you can fill it with gear too. Pack your weekend with adventure in the Honda Passport.
An injury at any age can be a game changer, but with walk-in clinics Monday through Saturday, the Marshall Sports Medicine Institute is ready to get you off the bench and back in the game. Marshall Sports Medicine Institute takes care of the herd. Let it
46-39, away we go here to the second half. We have been told West Virginia State women's team, who lost earlier today to UC, they haven't officially made it to Wheeling. They are going to be hosting a game here on Monday, the 4th and 5th place game. Winner will move on to Wheeling's West Banco Arena. And also Brian Poor's team, in all likelihood, they're going to need a win here today to avoid playing host to an on-campus game.
Just shows you how crazy the final day, even, not just the final week, can be in this Mountain East Conference.
All right, UC with the basketball to get things going, and right out of the gate, Williams strokes it for UC, 48-39. Williams with 5 in the game. So Glenn Abram, Jeremiah Moore, Augustus Stone, Anthony Pittman, and Jeremiah Staten are on the floor for State. There for UC is Sean Monroe, Keith Williams, Eddie Colbert, Isaiah Gable, and Lamont McManus. And from the outside, firing away and hitting is Colbert. Colbert's 4th three-pointer of the game. And just like that, 51-39 is the lead.
And that's not a guy I would leave open if I am West Virginia State defensively. I think someone lost track of number 13, and he burned him for another 3.
The first 5 points have been scored by UC. Here's Pittman wanting to drive inside, then a nice little dish there to Moore for the bucket. Moore has 8 in the game, and it's a 10-point UC advantage.
A tremendous assist as Moore had Gable sealed inside.
On the move and driving and scoring. Boy, that was nice by Colbert.
And Colbert exploding here tonight. He's got 18 on 5 of 7 shooting. So not only able to step back and fire threes, but able to drive. And again, you mentioned that length of UC. He showed it on that one.
Staten driving in. Boy, that would have been a great play if it had gone. Staten just could not get it to drop. So back the other way comes the UC Golden Eagles, and a nice play by Monroe. Just nice dribbling, and then fires that shot from inside the circle to make it a 55-41 lead. Monroe now with 8 in the game.
Well, Golden Eagles have hit their first 4 shots out of the halftime locker room.
Augustus Stone cut off Staten. Shot clock at 4. Jeremiah Moore puts it up and in. And just with a couple of seconds to spare, and State trims it back down to 12.
Moore with incredibly soft touch around the rim.
On the move, Colbert, one-hander, spins in and out. Pittman ahead to Abram. Abram wanting to take it to the hoop and tied up there by Keith Williams.
And Abrams doing everything he can, to get a look at the basket. And we're going to see ourselves a near tackle as Pittman was trying to come off of a screen. Gable just grabbed a hold.
So the foul's on Gable. That's his 3rd. Eberhardt up off the bench, and we'll check in for UC. Here's Pittman putting up the shot, boy, in and out. That would have been a big bucket there for State. Now on the move, just about, I was going to say, just about walked with it, and he gets called for Monroe. So Eberhardt is in, Gable will come out.
And Monroe tried to put the brakes on underneath, but slid that back pivot foot.
You know, while I'm giving love to Ravenswood, I mentioned Riley Hetherington and Brett Rector for UC. Rob Ely, an assistant coach for Brian Poor's crew. Been there a long time, great guy. He's also a proud former Red Devil. He was a wrestler, though, up and in. And Moore's got all 6 points for State here, Andrew, in the second half.
And he's hit on 6 of 7 shots. There have been some difficult shots in there on drives. That was a very tough one. Just had the roll to fall.
10-point lead. State needs a stop here, and Pittman got his hands on it, and then we're going to have a whistle on number 3, Keith Williams. That's his 2nd. Team foul number 2 on UC here in this second half of play. So State here now with an opportunity to chisel it back down to single digits, and you got to take advantage of opportunities when you can.
Especially if UC is going to continue to shoot the way they are shooting here.
It's been lights out.
60% overall.
Anthony Pittman wants to negotiate. Backs out of there. Eberhardt is the man guarding him. And, Pittman, he knew what he wanted to do, and he just kept working at it. Missed the first one, but taps it back in. Pittman now with 9 in the game, and down to an 8-point UC lead. State trying to get something going here. UC trying to counter from the outside, launching, and shot no good by Williams. Down the floor to Stone. Stone's going to be stripped of the ball and fouled.
And that's going to be number 3 on Keith Williams now. It's a good look there by Staten off of the rebound, getting it down the floor quickly.
Well, you put Stone at the line. 83.8% free throw shooter. Stone has 9 in the game now. So checking out is Williams. Checking in will be Shante Wilson, number 1. All right, Stone does what he has to do. State is 7 of 10 at the free throw line. You see 8 of 11, 55-49.
So back down to that 6-point deficit that West Virginia State had at the half. Well, UC just came out blazing, hitting their first 4 shots in the second half. So maybe a little shell shock, but West Virginia State starting to settle down a little bit here.
Here's Pittman driving. Pittman scores. Pittman fired up.
Pittman a little Euro step action to the basket, drew a little contact, and got the shot to fall. A chance for West Virginia State to cut it down to just 3, Mark.
Yeah, got ourselves a game here, Andrew Miller, in Institute between these two great rivals, UC and State. You're watching it on Video Productions.
The Honda CR-V EX is loaded with premium features that you don't have to pay a premium for. Like a turbocharged engine for great performance and fuel efficiency. With advanced features like a blind spot information system. Plus, Apple CarPlay integration for your iPhone. And the best part is, in the CR-V, premium is standard. Contact your Honda dealer to learn more or shop online.
With all that's going on, Mullen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling wants to remind our neighbors we're here for you. We're taking extra precautions to protect you and our employees. Right now, we're offering 6-month no-interest financing to help you stay comfortable throughout this crisis. Our superior indoor air filtration options will keep viruses, bacteria, and allergens down, increasing indoor air quality, comfort, and safety. Call us today and see how we can help you. Mullen, we're comfortable when you are.
Back here in Institute, this Mountain East Conference showdown featuring the West Virginia State Yellow Jackets and the University of Charleston Golden Eagles is being sponsored in part by MVB Bank, powering your potential. Well, 55-51, and Anthony Pittman, the opportunity to make it 55-52.
He powered his potential to the rim on that last set. Again, Pittman just so exciting to watch because he's such a do-it-all. I often say when somebody fills up the stat sheets like he does, it's this many points, this many rebounds, this many blocks, this many steals and assists, and a partridge in a pear tree.
And he connects on the free throw, so it's down to a 3-point lead for UC. Largest lead in the game for the Golden Eagles, who have led from the very beginning with 16. From the outside, trying to slow down the Jackets. Colbert missed the shot, but UC going to get another stab at it here. Monroe on the move, and the ball knocked away out of the hands of Monroe, and it will still be UC's basketball. 11 on the shot clock. Mike Lazo hands it to Monroe. And to McManus, but Staten, boy, got his hands on it and took off with it. Just steps out of bounds.
Try to tiptoe the sideline right in front. Coach Poore and the bench. That was a good play on the inbound by Staten, undercutting McManus.
So Eberhardt will be the trigger here. Staten is the cousin of Glenn Abram, and driving and scoring is Monroe. Monroe has 10 in the game.
3 in double figures for UC.
Pittman against Eberhardt, boy, threw it right into the hands of Colbert.
Pittman on that drive attempt, trying to make something happen, got up in the air, It's a very lonely place to be when you don't know where you're throwing it.
On the move is Monroe. Riley Hetherington getting set to check into the game for UC. There's Monroe, who ended that bit of a scoring drought for UC. State's going to head out, and Trayon Watkins will check in. Oh, Hetherington, the all-time scoring leader at Ravenswood, helped lead Ravenswood to state championship game, and he has skills and then some, and he shows it right there.
He can do a lot of different things well, and you saw one of those things is with the length that he has, he can hide the ball from defenders and make layups.
Right, on the other end, Moore scores. Moore has 14 in the game, 59-54. Hetherington coming in, averaging 3.4 a contest. 6'7", missed the season due to an injury. Took a medical red shirt from way out, and connecting is Monroe. Monroe just stood up there and said, I'm going to launch this three, and he buries it.
6-3 of the game for the University of Charleston, and they just continue to shoot well. They have not been below 60% shooting in this ball game.
Hetherington knocked the ball away, and nice diving effort there right in front of Brian Poor on the state sideline. Yellow Jackets have it. Pittman wants to work against Eberhardt. Pittman puts the shot up, won't go, battle for it, and taking it away is Eberhardt.
Well, Pittman dangerously close there, Mark, to picking up his fourth foul off that miss.
And that very easily could have been called. Here's Abram with a pick, and Abram takes it down and lays it in. Just Abram's third field goal of the game. He has 11, 6-point contest.
That may be the first look he's had that didn't have a hand in his face.
Keith Williams, and from way out, Colbert unable to get it to go, and Pittman outmaneuvers Wilson for the rebound. Pittman zips a pass over, looking for Watkins, but taken away down the floor and up with a shot, and good is Shante Wilson. Well, unfortunate there for State. Pittman driving in, maybe should have just taken the shot, but saw the open man, but Wilson swipes it and goes coast to coast, and then is fouled. Foul is on Jeremiah Moore. That's his third. State with 2 team fouls now here in the second half. Shot is up and good by Wilson. Wilson with 9 in the contest, 65-56.
It's one of those every time West Virginia State seems to make a couple of things happen in the second half, UC has a big answer.
Then Abram, he'll attack. Abram, difficult shot, and he's going to be called for the charge.
Yeah, Abram really, I think, seems to be frustrated in this game offensively. Give credit to University of Charleston, the way they have played him defensively. And again, he got to the baseline there, but he wanted to attack so strongly that even though he saw the defender standing where he was, I mean, he may have been able to pull up there and just softly float that one, but
3 team fouls now on State, getting things wiped up there following the collision. So now UC with this 9-point lead, a chance to go back up by double figures. McManus is back in the game. Brian Poor and Mike Lazo have a conversation. Wide open is Wilson, and he buries the three-pointer. Third three of the second half here for UC, and they are 7 of 19 in the game. 68-56, just like that.
We're watching the chatter amongst the West Virginia State players before that play happened. they are a little bit out of sorts and out of sync again.
Yeah, Pittman driving and couldn't get it to go. Sean Monroe to Riley Hetherington. And a foul is going to be called on State, and is that on Pittman?
It is.
Yeah, wow. His fourth.
And Pittman, unfortunately for him, drew the card on McManus that time, and it's just McManus is so big and so powerful. But he just moved Pittman around.
And then Colbert goes to work. He has 7 here in the second half, 20 for the game now, 70-56. A 14-point lead now here for UC. Gus Stone wants to penetrate, spinning around, lefty, can't get it to drop, is fouled.
That was a tremendous move by Stone in the lane. One thing these drivers for West Virginia State have not done is make moves inside when they are driving. Stone that time stopped and spun and got himself an opportunity at a shot attempt.
Todd Shockley is up ready to check in for State, and we would assume he will be coming in for Pittman. Stone at the line, very smooth, hits it. Keith Williams is back into the game for UC, and Colbert will check out. Now, Pittman is out. Shockley is in for State. UC has led from the outset. State made a nice little run here, but get within striking distance, but UC has forged back into this double-digit lead.
One thing you know about this conference is runs can be made. So there's a lot of time on the clock for runs to be made. That's going to make it tough for a run, though, the big man, McManus. Gosh, he is just a load.
Yes, he is. He has 13 in the game, and he's going to the free throw line as he makes it 72-57. Shockley with his second foul.
And as I mentioned, once he gets it in the paint, Mark, it's almost too late. You'll have to get some help defense coming in on him. The problem is, Mark, is when you get help defense, it leaves somebody open outside. And, again, the Golden Eagles have been hitting shots tonight.
And McManus, three-point play the old-fashioned way, and he has 14 in the game. 4 players in double figures for the University of Charleston. Watkins with unlimited range. Brian Poore says he can shoot it from the parking lot, and I'm okay with that. Well, that one was pretty darn close.
I do enjoy the scouting report on the official website says he has Steph Curry-like range.
73-60. They're going to need a few more of those. Now they go back to work with McManus.
McManus has, by the way, not missed a shot. He's 7 for 7 inside.
15 in the game. Here's Gus Stone. Watkins this time going to take it to the hoop, and he missed the shot on his way, and they're going to get Hetherington with the foul. That will be his first, and that will be team foul number 6. And we have a break in the action here with 9:15 to go. Trayon Watkins on the move. Hetherington with the foul. UC by 15 over State on Video Productions.
I'm Stuart Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
9:15 to go here in this basketball game. UC 75, West Virginia State University 60. This Mountain East Conference men's basketball game featuring the West Virginia State University Yellow Jackets is being sponsored in part by MVB Bank. MVB Bank, powering your potential. State got it, down to 4? And then UC shot back out to a 15-point lead. Trayon Watkins at the free throw line. Knocked down that long-range 3 a moment ago and can't get the free throw to drop. So State on the day, 9 of 14 from the line. And neither will go for Trayon Watkins.
Going to struggle in this ball game. And again, we've talked about the UC shooting prowess, but their defense, I think, all day has stifled West Virginia State's ability to create things. West Virginia State looks out of sorts, out of sync, stagnant on offense, and a lot of that, I think, might be because of UC's defense.
And McManus, well, he finally decided to give way to teammate in the corner. They can't get it to go. And here's Watkins now for West Virginia State. And Watkins again buries a 3.
That's a big one for Watkins.
That was pretty. Still a 12-point advantage for the Golden Eagles.
Still lots of time on this second half clock.
Sean Monroe, Riley Hetherington feeds McManus. And then McManus behind the back pass to Hetherington. Hetherington in trouble, got rid of it, out to Monroe. Monroe can't get the shot to drop, and a tie-up for the basketball. And I believe Shockley got a timeout called. He did. Pittman's going to come back in for State. It's a 75-63 lead for UC. They'll chat about it, and we will break away here in Institute. You're watching live streaming coverage of Mountain East Conference basketball featuring the West Virginia State University Yellow Jackets on Video Productions.
Have dreams.
You have dreams.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
For more than 125 years, West Virginia State University has been educating generations of students who have gone on to change the world.
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
Back inside the Walker Convocation Center. 7:57 to go in the basketball game, and UC on top 75-63 over the Yellow Jackets of West Virginia State. State will have the ball out of this timeout. State in with a record of 9-5. UC with a 12-game winning streak. Well, they started out 0-2, and then Dwayne Osborne told me yesterday, I just decided to kind of get out of the way because maybe I had them thinking too much. And coaches will admit to, just wanting to simplify things, and boy, it has clicked. So it's good coaching too.
Absolutely. Addition by subtraction, maybe.
Here is Watkins. This one would not go. From our vantage point, it looked like it may have a chance, but it was well off the mark. Penn State's going to have to get some stops and then produce some of those stops into offense. Keep tabs here. Riley Hetherington on the baseline, and Hetherington gets it to McManus. Back to Hetherington, who can drive the baseline, and a little dump there to McManus. And Hetherington's done some nice things since entering the game. McManus now with 18 in the contest.
Still perfect from the field, 8 of 8.
Here is Abram. This one will not go. Hetherington with the rebound.
And Abram has been locked up throughout the night. That's probably the best three-point look he's had. He's got 11, and that's all.
Riley Hetherington finding McManus, and McManus will score again. You know, we talked about Hetherington's just a really skilled basketball player, and he shows he can make nice passes either hand. Just has that 6'7" frame. Very good ball handler, and of course McManus, well, what needs to be said. He's just an absolute force down low.
And that's going to be number 5 on Pittman.
Pittman backed in, and with 6:14 to go, Anthony Pittman has fouled out of this basketball game.
Pittman questioning, wanting to know what in the world. And I think what they're calling is Pittman maybe with a shove on the drive there. He was posting Hetherington up here, you see. Yep, as you see, just a little elbow right to the chest. And that's going to be number 5 for Pittman.
They're letting him talk it over a little bit, but you want to be careful.
Yeah.
And with that, one of your vital cogs is out of the game at 6:14 to go, and you're down 14. So
that's a tough call there for West Virginia State. They're struggling.
So if West Virginia State is going to rally back in this basketball game, they're going to have to do it without number 20. And then we have a foul called on number 2 for UC, Monroe.
So things getting a bit talkative is the best way I could put it here. Of course, I've never met a collegiate basketball player who agreed with a foul call on them. So
I think you could probably dip down to high school too.
Yeah.
But certainly at this level.
Just love the passion that these guys have for the game of basketball, though.
Well, Watkins just kind of got in trouble there and shuffled those feet. From the word go, it has been UC in the lead. State got close. Brian Poor, he's walking down the floor with the official, and thought he was going to go into the UC bench area. Riley Hetherington, boy, what a pass, little backdoor action there, Williams.
And Hetherington's got 3 assists in his small amount on the court. Good floor distributor.
81-63, acrobatic play by Abram to make it 81-65. Abram with 13 in the game.
Boy, and he has had to earn all 13
he has.
of those.
Came much easier a week ago when he had that 47. And the thing you notice about Hetherington, he loves using that left hand when he passes. Shockley skies up, gets the rebound, battle for the ball, and jump ball situation. It will be UC's basketball. And we're going to have a break in the action. 81-65, Golden Eagles on top of the Yellow Jackets. Mountain East Conference basketball on Video Productions.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
The Honda Passport is full of possibilities. And with plenty of cargo space and underfloor storage, you can fill it with gear too. Pack your weekend with adventure in the Honda Passport.
.65 our score. UC on top of West Virginia State here at the Walker Convocation Center. This Mountain East Conference basketball game featuring the Yellow Jackets of West Virginia State is being sponsored in part by MVB Bank. MVB Bank, powering your potential. Now UC clearly in control of this basketball game, and State's going to simply have to come up with some defensive gems here in the final 4:54 and make shots.
Yeah, it's not as if West Virginia State has shot the ball poorly. They're shooting, by the way, 50% for the game. It's just they're fighting from so far down each time they make a little bit of a run. And without, again, Pittman and his presence in the ballgame, going to be a lot more difficult to make a run back into this thing.
UC, meanwhile, hitting 61.5% of its shots from the field.
And, Mark, they have not dipped below 60%.
Well, here's McManus, and, well, you know, what are you going to do in that situation? McManus is going to get you off your feet, and you're either going to foul or it's going to be a three-point play instead of a two-point play, but McManus just continues to steamroll here. Abram lands just his second three of the game. And you hate to say just his second three, but we know what that young man's capable of. It. Well, UC's just done a great job on Abram today, who does, by the way, have 16 points.
And again, he'll get it, whether it's quiet or loud, he'll get his points eventually. But the way it happens makes it difficult on the offense of West Virginia State sometimes.
Sean Monroe now has 15 in the game. Abram again, and will lay it off the glass and in.
Yeah, the scoring is not an issue right now. It's the stopping of UC's offense.
McManus, and I'm telling you what, those back doors are unbelievable. Just that slashing to the hoop and the nice pass.
Yeah, UC just playing tremendous basketball today.
87-70. Stone gets it to roll through. That's Stone's first field goal of the second half. He has 13 in the game. And we're going to have a foul called on Trayon Watkins. That will be his first. State has 17 fouls. 3:20 to go in the basketball game. Again, there will be games pitting the 4th and 5th place teams before Wheeling this week.
Just found out unofficially that West Virginia State's girls will be hosting an MEC play-in or tournament game Monday.
Now the women losing here earlier today to UC. Tiani Kelly's team finishing 15-2. Charles Marshall's squad 8-7. Shockley out to Watkins. Watkins lets it fly off the mark and fighting for it and getting the ball as he hit the floor, and Williams gets up kind of slow, but he's okay. And then Moore sneaks behind after helping Williams up, and Abram will go down and score. Well, let's kind of try to backtrack here. A lot happened. Williams hit the floor. Moore helped him up, and they kind of jogged down the floor together, and then Moore speeds up, strips the ball handler from behind, and when it's all said and done, you got Abram going in for the bucket and trying to convert the three-point play.
You know what that's called? That's called good karma. Moore held back and helped up his opponent and gets the steal because of it.
All right. That gets it down to 12, 87-75. So can State get enough stops here and produce points on the other end to make it close here as we've gone under 2.5 to play. Monroe just about walked with it. Now down to McManus. McManus spins away from the defender and scores.
What a quick spin move, baseline.
89.
Reverted it to his left hand and softly laid it in. He has not missed a shot today. McManus, as you mentioned, Coach Osborne said, one of the best bigs in the country. I just with my eyes and what I've seen, tops in the Mountain East Conference. He is amazing.
Williams' fourth foul. Moore at the line. Moore now has 15 in the game. Abram with 15, Abram with 21, Moore with 15, Augustus Stone with 13. Ian Pittman is fouled out. Shockley gets the missed free throw. So another stab at it here for West Virginia State. And Abram dumps it to Shockley, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Looks like it's going to stay with State.
Okay. Just right under 2 minutes to go. Hetherington will head back in. McManus will check out. 13-point UC lead. State with the ball. Jeremiah Moore handed it to Abram, and Abram lost the handle. Tough break for State.
That's a tough 10th turnover at a bad time. Both teams with 10. But some are worse than others based on when they happen.
Sean Monroe to Riley Hetherington. They get it back out to Monroe. Monroe trying to negotiate against Watkins. And firing away is Williams. His shot will not drop. State on the move. Abram, he'll pull up. Long range three. Can't get it to go. Monroe going to slowly bring it across the timeline. Here's Hetherington, and on his way to the hoop, he's fouled by Stone. Not sure, but I think Hetherington was on his way to slamming one through.
Yeah, very impressed with the minutes that Riley Hetherington has had. He's got 3 assists. That's the big stat for him. Distribution of the ball from the inside.
Yeah, he entered the game.
Good looks.
Yeah, he entered the game and got a bucket right out of the gate once he checked in. This is his 10th appearance of the season. He's been out a few games this season, averaging 14 minutes a contest. Very good free throw shooter. 91-76. Under a minute to go here at the Walker Convocation Center.
We get a foul on Monroe there, trying to work through a screen.
That will put Watkins at the line. Trayon Watkins hitting his first free throw. He missed a couple earlier. Knocked down some long-range threes, a couple of those. Watkins 91-78. Trayon Watkins with 8 in the game. Isaiah Gable in there for UC.
I like that inbounds call by Coach Osborne. Brought 4 guys down and sent them on go routes.
Yes, yeah, they did it. Rick Ryan, great sports writer for the Charleston Gazette-Mail. He did a big story on that a few weeks back, and yeah, they've got the the football lingo going with that formation. Free throw up and in by Monroe. And some of these guys, you think, McManus has had the great game, but, Colbert was outstanding. But, here's Monroe, just a quiet 17.
Yeah.
And he can play multiple positions. Again, what a pickup after Urbana shut down not only its program but the school. Stone drives in and scores. Stone now with 15 in the game. All right, Gable fouled, I believe, by Watkins. Yep. Second on Watkins. Brian Poore and his crew, they'll regroup, and, you go into that locker room when all is said and done, say, hey, guys, second season begins now.
Absolutely. They rode a 3-game win streak coming into this game. Before that, they had lost 4 in a row, but they played some tough competition and played them close. You see one of those losses in that time frame. Also, a Fairmont State loss, a very close loss to Fairmont State here. So they're battle-tested. I think West Virginia State is one of those teams in that mid-pack area that's very dangerous when it comes tournament time.
Well, there's no question. You have Pittman for an entire game, and you know what Abrams capable of doing. Watkins can just get hot and just injure a team big time with his three-point shooting. Moore makes the three-point play there.
Moore's had a tremendous game with 18.
Yeah, 8 of 10 from the field. They'll foul Gable. It'd be nice to see these two meet up again.
UC taking the regular season sweep with 2 victories. But in sports, it's always the cliche. It's very difficult to beat a team 3 times in one season. Tell you what, though, if University of Charleston shoots the basketball like they have today, 63%, they're going to be tough to crowd just about any game.
Watkins could not get that shot to drop. Moore couldn't chase it down. Well, you've done some of these state games. I've had a chance to do some of them. It's been great that we got a chance to work together today. Usually we're with Bob Boland. Bob working some high school games today, but we've seen enough of these teams. I saw a Wesleyan team last weekend that hadn't won a game, and I came away impressed with them. And, you saw Wheeling and the other night, and there's just some good talent on this team. That will do it. 96-83. The UC Golden Eagles have won 13 in a row since dropping the first 2. And West Virginia State University falls to 9-6 in this season finale. 96-83, your final. We return to the Walker Convocation Center in a moment with a recap here on Video Productions.
You have dreams.
A better life, a better job, a better you.
So where do you start to build the skills necessary to get there?
At West Virginia State, you are not just a number, you are who you choose to be.
You receive personal attention from award-winning faculty.
You study in nationally recognized programs.
You learn the skills that will get you the job you know you can have.
No matter where you want to go
or what you want to do,
it starts at State.
Honda Passport is full of possibilities. And with plenty of cargo space and underfloor storage, you can fill it with gear too. Pack your weekend with adventure in the Honda Passport. The The Honda CR-V EX is loaded with premium features that you don't have to pay a premium for. Like a turbocharged engine for great performance and fuel efficiency. With advanced features like a blind spot information system. Plus, Apple CarPlay integration for your iPhone. And the best part is, in the CR-V, premium is standard. Contact your Honda dealer to learn more or shop online.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Huggins.
We welcome you back inside the Walker Convocation Center here on the beautiful campus of West Virginia State University. UC wins it over State 96-83, sweeping the regular season series. So we do want to make a couple of Mountain East Conference tournament notes. The state women's team will have to win a game here at the Walker Convocation Center on Monday against Wesleyan in order to reach Westbanco Arena in Wheeling, where the tournament will be staged. Meanwhile, Glenville knocked off Concord today, so West Virginia State's men's team keeping the number 3 seed, and they will advance to Westbanco Arena in Wheeling. So that is good news, even though right at the moment, it's a tough time right after a loss to a rival. But Brian Poore and his crew will chat it up and regroup. And, boy, how about this UC team? Still rolling, Andrew, after losing 2 in a row to start the season. They haven't lost since.
And they are a well-oiled machine, if I will say. They have played from start to finish in this game so well. If you look at their stats, they did not dip below mark for the game, 60% shooting from the field. They were solid all night, and it was a multitude of players getting in the game. They had 5 in double figures. 2 of them got above 20 for the game. 36 of 57 shooting for UC. West Virginia State did not shoot the ball poorly. West Virginia State shot at 51%. That's very respectable as a team. Just they didn't have enough of those versus the UC offense. And again, the statistics bore out pretty similar. 9 of 23 from behind the line for State, and for UC, they hit 7 of 22 from 3. Free throws very similar, 17 of 22 for UC, 14 of 21 for State. Rebounds, again, very similar, 29-28 in favor of West Virginia State, and turnovers exactly the same. So statistically, you look at this and you scratch your head at a 13-point loss, but it was just such a well-played game by UC that even when State played well in the second half, they never looked very in sync offensively, but they were able to overcome that, just not to the tune of slowing down the UC offense at all.
Individual scoring in this basketball game here today, leading the way for UC. Lamont McManus, 24 points. Eddie Colbert had 20 points. Sean Monroe, 17. Shante Wilson, 12. Keith Williams, 10. Isaiah Gable had 7, Riley Hetherington 4, and Tyler Eberhardt finished with 2. Glenn Abram leads the way for State with 21. Jeremiah Moore had 18. Augustus Stone had 15. Anthony Pittman, who fouled out of the contest, finishes with 12. Trayon Watkins had 8. Jeremiah Staten had 5. And Jihad Shockley finished with 4 points. West Virginia State 9-6. UC now 13-2. Well, Andrew, it was great being with you doing basketball, my man. Well, and I misspoke earlier. I said this was our 4th sport. This is our 5th. I forgot track and field. How can I forget track and field?
It's our most exciting and fun time.
It's where we definitely spend a lot of time together over a two-day period. But great job being with you, and we'll see you down the road here as we get set now for a lot of high school basketball action on Video Productions.
I really enjoyed this MEC basketball season, and it's just this league is very, very exciting, and I look forward to the future of the Mountain East Conference.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Reed Amos is just one of the best, and he has just simply put together a great league. It's been around now for a while, but it just seems to keep getting better and better. Can't wait to follow the tournament at Westbanco Arena in Wheeling. Many thanks to our great crew, Toby Maynard, Zane Townsend, Ryan Shepard, and, of course, our producer, director, Robbie Mounts, for all their tremendous work here this afternoon for both the women's and men's games. UC winning it here today, both in the women's encounter and in this showdown between the men. We thank you so much for joining us here inside the Walker Convocation Center on the campus of West Virginia State University. For Andrew Miller, our great crew, I'm Mark Martin saying so long from Institute, where UC has beaten State by a final of 96-83. All video production live streaming telecasts are streaming live on Facebook and archived on the Video Productions website. This has been a sports presentation of Video Productions.